Konnichiwa, all my lovely kohai. My name is Shelby Senpai, and I'll be your forever and loyal hostess. Today for you, I have a little something different. I'm going to show you how to get the stickiness off of your PVC or anime figures. I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about, but for those of you who don't, I will explain. PVC figures or anime figures over time can get sticky and gross, and this is caused by not storing your figures properly or not displaying them properly. Anywhere where it's super hot or the weather is constantly changing can cause these guys to get a really sticky texture or residue to them. Now, the cause of the stickiness is because of a product called plasticizer, which is used whenever figures are made, and this plasticizer is put into the figures to help, one, keep their form, but two, help them bend a little bit. So for some of your figures, if you see, you can maybe move the leg just a little bit or the hair just a little bit, but it goes back in place. That is because of the product plasticizer. Unfortunately though, this product after a long period of time can vaporize within the figure. This can happen quite often with figures that are often sealed up in a box within their blister packaging. So, for example, I had a Hatsune Miku number 33 Nendoroid that I received in the mail, and she was absolutely sticky, and this method that I'm going to show y'all today got rid of the stickiness that was all over her, even though she was mint condition in the box. The best way to prevent any stickiness ever coming or forming onto your figures is to, number one, make sure that they are in a sun-free area in a nice cool room in the house, and of course give your figures some breathing time. I know a lot of collectors like keeping their figures in the box, but unless they have breathing holes through the plastic, through the box, or even through the blister packaging, they're going to eventually get a sticky residue on them. Alright, so enough chit chat. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I clean the stickiness off of my figures. These figures right here still have to be cleaned. I've went ahead and taken them apart if they need to be taken apart, so that way it's a little easier to clean and get in all the nooks and crannies and the crevices. The first thing you'll need is a huge tub full of warm soapy water and a magic eraser. These things are fantastic and they get rid of all the stickiness and the goop and dirt. And then I have another tub full of warm water here without any soap in it. And then you're also going to need some nice soft little hand towels or dish towels, and that's all you're going to need in order to get these guys clean. These guys over here I've already cleaned off with the warm soapy water and rinsed them off with the warm water and then dried them off with one of my little white towels, and now they're just sitting here basking in all their clean glory. So for this project I am going to be using Asuka as my example girl throughout the video. As you can see, all this shininess right here is all that plasticizer seeping out of her. She is super gross and super bad, and I know a lot of you are probably wondering, why didn't you take care of your figures? Well, these guys have actually been stored away because of me moving around a lot, and I haven't been able to actually properly display them. So I decided, since now I am going to be properly able to display them, to give them a good bath to bring them back to their full glory. So enough chit chat, let's go ahead and get this video started. So I'm first going to put her base in here and just dip it on in. Now with her base, I'll just easily use my hand to sit here and rub off any little dirt and micro pieces of disgustingness, since there's not a lot of nooks and crannies that need to be messed with the magic eraser. Then what I'm going to do is dip it in the lukewarm water and get all the soap off of it, so that way there is no soapy residue. And once I've gotten all the soap off, I will come over here and I will wipe down the base, making sure that I get it completely dry. I don't want any residue, any more stickiness, nothing. I want to get everything out of there, because if you do leave the water on there, it might be okay, but I'm not a fan of any water droplet stains or anything like that. I want my figures to look spot on, including their bases. And once you feel like you have completely cleaned off the base to your liking and perfection, just go ahead and set it over here with everybody else. Next, I will be taking her little guy and dipping him in as well. Once again, he does not have a lot of crevices or curvatures or creases like Asuka does. I'm just using my hand to get it all out. And you don't have to use a lot of soap. A lot of people have complained that when they use soap and water methods to clean their figures that it stripped the paint. Well, you don't have to use too much soap. Dawn dish soap soaps up pretty well, and I only used a few squirts in there, if at that, probably more droplets than anything. So once again, you're just going to dry off, and don't be afraid to be a little harsh when it comes to drying off. You want to make sure that you get all of the water off. I have some people that I know who have sometimes not completely dried their figures off, and mildew and grossness has grown on there, and I do not want that, and I'm sure y'all don't want that either. Now, if you are worried about little holes or indents which the figures connect to one another, you are more than welcome to take a Q-tip if you want. A lot of people don't like that method, but I'm okay with using a Q-tip, especially when it comes to the little peg holes, because to me, I don't want anything still being in there left to dry up or get gross or anything like that, so I'm willing to use a Q-tip in this area. And once again, once you're satisfied with how it looks and feels, you just go ahead and put it on over there. Now with Asuka, she's a little different. I'm gonna have to get in here with the magic eraser and scrub a little bit. You don't have to be too hard, but you do need to be a little strong with it, because if you don't, then you're going to end up washing her several times, and we're just trying to do one good wash. So don't be afraid. Try to get all the nooks and crannies, and these things are meant to get in there and get the gross out. So now I'm just going to dry her off, just like I did with my other figures and bases. Like I said, don't be afraid to give a little hard love, because the point of this is to get the sticky off. I've never myself had any problems with paint chipping or smearing or the gross stickiness smearing itself. This method has always worked with me. I've always just used the regular old-fashioned blue Dawn dish soap with the lukewarm water. You can even get it a little warmer if you want, not boiling, but you can also use as much temperature as you can stand. Just get in there. And honestly, I know it can be a little scary to do this at first, but once you do it more and more often, you'll become more confident in doing it. I myself was really scared of doing it the first time, but now that I've done it a couple of times already, I feel pretty comfortable. I'll also leave a link down below to where I learned how to do it. It's actually from a blogger that blogs for Good Smile Company, and they're always giving helpful tips for the figure collecting community. So if you want to try some other methods that they suggest, I'll leave the link down below, and you are more than welcome to go ahead and try those out for yourself. Alright, and she's done. And if you take a look at the top, that stickiness that was there before is not there. Touching her, I don't feel it at all. She feels good as new, super smooth, super clean. So that's it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and clean off all my other figures. Alright, and as you can see here, everybody is clean and sticky free now. I hope that you found this video helpful, and hopefully you will be able to get the sticky residue off your figures as well. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and my figure collection. I always leave the details below in the description box. And as always, I will see you next time, my lovely Kohai.